So today I want to talk about scoring your days to really kind of put some perspective around whether you've had a good day, an average day, or a not so good day. So if you're someone who constantly thinks things aren't going particularly well, when actually they might be going better than you think, this is going to really resonate with you. So keep on watching, keep on listening. Welcome back to consecutive day 1853 of a diary of a Runpreneur. And today's episode is all about scoring your days, putting some kind of logical framework behind your days to see whether you have actually had a good day or an average day or a bad day. So many of us constantly think we're having bad days, and sometimes that's not always the case. So, but before we get into that, please don't forget that this vlog is part of a fundraiser of saving the lives of children by attempting the ultimate ultramarathon of run vlogging on consecutive days, the distance of a lap of the world, barefoot style. And the more people we get in front of, more money we raise, more children's lives we save, which is why I do this every single day. So back to the topic at hand, scoring your days. So this is something that I've just recently kind of come up with because, you know, I've started a new business, and you know, when you start a new business, invariably you're putting a lot of time, effort and work into something, and cost, investment, whatever it is, into something. And in the early stages, you don't often get a lot back for it. You have to build it up slowly, and then gradually you start to see the fruits of your labour. And when you're kind of going through those periods of time, it's very easy to think that you're just having bad day after bad day after bad day, when quite honestly, it's probably not the case. And so I've just kind of thought things through from a kind of bit more of a pragmatic perspective on how you can kind of put some perspective around this. And I just came up with this process of scoring your days. It's really simple. It doesn't have to be minutiae. You want to kind of high level we're talking about here. So just at the end of each day, just reflect upon the things that went well. And they can be small things or large things, and reflect against the things that didn't go so well. So just for an example, it could be that you had a response on an email that was quite positive. That could be a good thing. You could have a bad thing happen, like you were expecting a response from somebody who didn't respond. That could be a bad thing. So it could be small things like that, or it could be massive things. Now, the one thing that this kind of simple process doesn't really take into consideration is the magnitude of each kind of point that you're scoring. But it's quite a simple framework, because I always find that if you overcomplicate things or make things too too much thought goes into things, you'll procrastinate. You want something that's super easy way of just reflecting upon each day. And some things you might forget. If you forget certain things, it's obviously not significant enough to worry about the score. And it's not an exact science. You don't want to kind of overdo this. You should be able to reflect within 5 minutes, thinking about, well, that went well, that was good, this was good, that was good. Okay, so there's 4 points that were pretty good today. So what didn't go so well? Didn't get a response to that. Had a letter about some kind of legal action that wasn't particularly good. I'm just thinking of examples here that you could kind of use. You know, I didn't get paid when I was supposed to get paid. You know, things like that. Made a sale, but he didn't transfer the money. That could be not such a bad thing. So I'm just giving you examples, things that go well. Made a sale, got a really positive response from somebody who's a potential partnership opportunity, built a new kind of system that's really starting to save me some time. It could be that I had a really good one-to-one meeting with one of my staff members. So I'm just giving you some kind of ideas how you can kind of use. You could also put things into personal perspective as well, like my son's football team won this morning. You know, I refed my son's football team, really enjoyed it. It was a really nice experience. So I'm just giving you some kind of easy frameworks that you can kind of, easy examples you can kind of use here. And within 5 minutes, it should take no more than that. Just count up the good points versus the number of bad points, and then you'll have a net score, whether it's a +2 or a -4 or whatever that may be, or a 0. Well, if it's a 0, it's an average day. There's as many good things that have happened as bad things. If it's a positive number, you've had a good day. And that should be good. And then if it's a negative number, you've had a bad day. Now, if you're having lots of regular negative numbers, you then need to kind of look into things a little bit more detailed. Well, all these things are happening, why are they happening? And try and find the root cause and try and fix it. Because usually when lots of things negative are happening, there'll normally be kind of 1, 2, possibly 3 larger reasons why those negative things are happening. And they're the things you need to focus on kind of fixing. But it's quite a good way of kind of processing things, because sometimes, you know, we could have had a really good day and the last thing that happens in the day is something negative, and then you instantly walk away thinking you've had a bad day. When the actual reality is you've had a good day, it's just the last thing that happened was negative. So that's why this kind of reflective process is really quite good, quite powerful. And I'm starting to use this now. No, I'm not kind of logging it anywhere. I might choose to log it at some point if I start my journaling process again, but I've always found that this vlog is kind of my journal. And yeah, it just kind of ended up that I had a few things on Friday that weren't particularly positive, but then I had a couple of really good things that were really positive. And ultimately, when I scored it, it was actually a positive day. Yet I felt it wasn't necessarily as positive as it was. And I feel that you have to be a little bit mindful with this, that it can sometimes kind of work for or against you, but at least there's some logic or some rationale behind it, rather than just, because as human nature, we often will emphasize or focus more on the negatives than the positives. And this is a way of trying to equalize that process. So yeah, ultimately the learnings from my diary today are that, you know, quite often in life we'll say we had a good day or a bad day or an average day, but there's never much thought process or logic that's gone into how we feel. That's just our human emotions. And the danger is that quite often we can have actually had good days where something close to the end of the day has happened that's not so good, and we'll instantly think that the day is a negative day, when it actually has been overall a positive day. And this kind of process is all about trying to kind of put some rationale behind our emotions of saying, I've had a good day or I've not had a good day. And hopefully the net result with you will have actually more positive days, which will put you in a better frame of mind and you know, protect your mental health, which is ultimately super important. So yeah, how we do this, pretty simple. We just reflect at the end of each day, 5 minutes, don't overthink it, just think of the things that have happened that have been good today, and then count them up, think of the things that happened that have been not so good. And then if the net result is a positive number, it's been a good day. If the net result is a negative number, it's been a not so good day. And if the net result is 0, it's been an average day. And I think what you then need to do is, if you're having lots of bad days, you then need to look a little bit deeper for why those things are happening. And there's normally 1, 2 or 3 things that are happening in your life that's contributing to why those things are going wrong. And then it's a case of actually looking at those bigger things and trying to fix them to avoid that happening. And then over the course of time, hopefully you'll get into a flow where most days are good days, and that's key. And this can be personal, business, whatever. But yeah, I found this really useful. And I had a prime example of had a really positive day on Friday, but the last thing that happened that wasn't so positive, and as a result I was feeling it wasn't a good day. But in actual fact, when I did this process, it made me realise that it was kind of like a net +7 or something, which meant it was a great day for me. So, you know, putting some rationale, some logic, some framework around what makes you feel you had a good day or what makes you feel you've had a bad day is a really good thing, because it can take out human emotion, which for many of us is wired in quite a negative way of looking at things. So that's it for me. Questions or comments, drop me a line. I respond to everyone. Do remember though, if you believe in my mission of saving the lives of children by attempting the ultimate ultra marathon of run vlogging on consecutive days and distance of a lap of the world barefoot style, do give this a subscribe, share, like and comment, as the more people we get in front of, more money we raise, more children's lives we save, which is why I do this every single day. Thank you as always, stay positive, stay happy, I'll see you again tomorrow.